Good afternoon, my friends. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso. I'm a non-sectarian Buddhist monk, teacher, healer, and practitioner of the Tantric arts. Not in the sex worker sort of a way, but in the fun contemplative master kind of a way. Folks, if you've been paying attention to my pages on the internet, you've noticed that for approximately 6 to 9 months, I've been allowing the political pundits to do my talking for me. Well, I feel more comfortable talking about politics as a natural extension of compassion. I'm a Buddhist. You can tell by the cool haircut and the cool threads what's going on. But in my spiritual training, I've studied many other religions. I've studied several, or at least 2 Christian sects. And in the Christian New Testament, we are cautioned to let that faith without works is dead. I suspect it's in the book of James. We were told to pass someone who's cold and hungry and simply say, may you be, fed and clothed, is not sufficient. It's good that we care. It's good that we don't mock them. It's good that we wish them well. But if there's anything we could do to help them, even a little bit, just that little bit, then do it. Even giving a homeless man $1 might not change his life, but it adds up. So check this out. There's a wonderful story from an Eddie Murphy movie. I think it's called The G-Spot. I really liked it. It's about 15 years old. But anyway, it goes like this. You've probably heard this. A little girl noticed that at low tide there were a whole bunch of starfish dying on the rocky coast. More starfish than she could count. So she ran out there and started picking up starfish and throwing them in the sea, picking starfish and throwing them in the sea. And her dad said, daughter, you can't hope to save them all. Therefore, your efforts are wasted. And the daughter responded, but Dad, the ones I do save don't share your opinion. They think my time and effort is well invested. Folks, if you just have enough money to give a homeless man $1, it helps. Every little bit helps. And just like the Christian New Testament tells us, this Buddhist monk is telling you, and himself, that compassion without action is a whole lot of hot air. Oh sure, in my case, the hot air smells of mint tea, but it's still hot air. So here's my request to you. Pick up the phone. Let's pretend this is a phone. Pick up the phone. Call your local, let's try that again. Call your senator. Both your senators and your congressional representative. If you don't know who they are, that's okay. You can ask, you can type in, who's my senator, on the internet, and you'll get an answer. You can type in, who's my congressman, on the internet, and you'll be taken to a page with their name and their contact information. I'm imploring you today to pick up your phone, call your legislative representative and senator, and make it clear in no uncertain terms that America insists it doesn't have the means to take care of its elderly, its sick, its veterans, its homeless, its children, and the environment itself. Then it does not have the money to go halfway around the world and murder strangers. Yes, our legislators might have the ethics of a house cat, but they know which side of the bread is buttered. Yes, they might rely on deep-pocketed lobbyists to fund their campaigns, but it's me and it's you who vote them into office or out of office. That's right, folks. We are their boss. Yes, we might call them representative. We might call them senator. They call us citizen. They call us boss, jefe, honcho, demand. That's right, we's demand. So call, make your will known that America can't be bothered to murder strangers halfway around the world. We've got citizens whose legitimate needs require assistance. That's it. That's my rant for the day. Now, let's do something spiritual. If you've been listening, you know the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. You can jot that down. Capital O-M, capital M-A-N-I, capital P-A-D-M-E, capital H-U-M. And when you get comfortable with reciting Om Mani Padme Hum, on the in-breath you can mentally, silently recite it one time. On the out-breath you can silently, mentally recite one time, May all beings benefit. You could do that 3 times. And then on the next in-breath you can mentally recite again, Om Mani Padme Hum. On the next out-breath you could silently, mentally recite, completely letting go. Do that 3 times. Folks, that's what we call a micro practice. Let's see, if you do that for 27 breaths, that's approximately a 40-second practice. You might be busy. You might be a thoracic surgeon. You might be a novelist. But I suspect you can find the intermittent 40 seconds a day to work on love and letting go. Now, I might be a fraud with a bad haircut, or I might be the real deal. There's only one way to find out, my friends. Play with that 40-second exercise. Why not once an hour? 40 seconds, you can spare them. Every waking hour, no need to lose sleep. And notice if you're a different person this time next week. My friends, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. If you have any questions or comments or simply wish to send me a great big cyber hug, then please send me a comment on my Facebook page, whose link can be found below this video. Of course, if you're in the greater Los Angeles area, I invite you to check out my latest live class. If you don't live here in toasty Southern California, we can set something up so that you can receive your dorm education over Skype. Because in the age of LOL cats and internet porn, there's no reason your spiritual needs must be left behind. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Bye-bye. Good morning, my friends. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso, and I'm a non-sectarian Buddhist monk, teacher, and healer. Today I'm going to share with you what I like to call the 4 couplets of fertility. As you probably already know from junior high school, a couplet is 2 lines. So this is not the first time I've mentioned using a 4 couplet practice, but this is going to be specifically for fertility. I have a dear friend who desires to conceive a second child. And so I'm performing this both for her benefit and also so that you learn how to manifest in the Buddhist tantric tradition. See, here's the deal. There are many ways to manifest. Some drain our energy. Some give us energy. Some feed our fear and craving. Some pacify our fear and craving. It's my desire to show you a way to manifest that not only gets the job done, but does it in a harmless way, a way that is actually good for you. So that means it's going to increase your energy, it's going to pacify your fear, it's going to pacify your craving, and it's going to help you become even more loving and to let go, which is a distinctly Buddhist sensibility. So, if you are familiar with my cornucopia videos, you'll remember that one of those videos was called Buddha's Oreo. And just as an Oreo had a dark bit, a white bit, and another dark bit, we're going to have a beginning bit, a middle bit, and an end bit. The middle bit is very simple. It's a verbal practice. Excuse me. Pardon. It's an entirely verbal practice that's going to be featuring the 6-syllable mantra of the Buddha of Compassion. The 6-syllable mantra, which I've discussed in greater detail in a previous video, is Om Mani Padme Hum. So let's play with that right now. First, we're going to generate very strong positive energy through the power of gratitude. We're not going to tell ourselves that we should be grateful, because that'll just make us nutty as a poop house rat. We're going to use a question that will help the inner computer of our subconscious mind to look for things that we could already feel grateful about. I like to call that an assumptive rhetorical question. So first we begin with the mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and now the question, what could I feel grateful about? Lama Tsongkhapa, the founder of the Gelug tradition in Tibet, composed a text called The Three Principal Aspects of the Path. He posited those three aspects were renunciation, compassion, and wisdom. Some people would define renunciation as, hey, man, if it feels good, don't do it. I'm not one of those people. I'm a liberal. And so as liberal, I say, hey, let's renounce two things. Let's renounce suffering, and while we're at it, let's renounce the causes of suffering. Allow me to illustrate. Would you consider bruised, broken, and bloody fingers a manifestation of suffering, a manifestation of that which you do not desire? Then let's not only renounce bruised, bloody, and broken fingers, but their cause, i.e., sticking your hand in a running garbage disposal. And so that doesn't sound like a difficult thing to renounce. So it could be said that renouncing sufferings is a self-centered activity, and giving people love is an others-centered activity. But we're going to consider meeting Angela's needs an act of renunciation. Why? Why am I doing that? Well, one of the Dalai Lama's teachers, Dilgo Khyentse, explained it this way. He said, when we feel affection for someone, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, we feel sentimental attachment towards them, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we often feel that way about them because on some level we feel that they are ours. They're our relative, our friend, our neighbor, and the like. And so it could be argued that meeting the needs of our friend, our relative, our neighbor is a selfish thing. Not a bad thing, but a selfish thing. So we're going to pursue it from that paradigm because, quite frankly, when we feel sentimental towards a relative, a friend, or a neighbor, their suffering is our suffering. Their unfulfilled need is our unfulfilled need. So let's not say, oh, I'm so spiritual, I meet the needs of my friends. Meeting your own needs in a sense. So there's nothing wrong with that. Let's have a sober, realistic view of ourselves. Let's not think that we're so sweet that sugar wouldn't melt on our tongue. Not so much with that. So here's the deal. I've got a friend who's also a neighbor, She has a deep longing to have a second child. Therefore, since she is my friend and neighbor and I feel sentimental towards her, her unfulfilled need is my unfulfilled need. And therefore, I'm going to meet that unfulfilled need. First, I'm going to send an energy with the 6-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Now I'm going to recite the words of intention. And boys and girls, the easiest way to guide our intention is through words. These are not affirmations. We're not lying to ourselves about what already has transpired or what could transpire, but actually we're just saying, hey, I've just generated some good karma by reciting Om Mani Padme Hum. Hey, I've just generated some good karma by generating gratitude. Hey, I just generated some more good karma by reciting Om Mani Padme Hum. Now I'm going to direct that good karma, just like the way a laser directs photons. I'm going to direct that good karma towards this goal. And here it is. May Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. Now we come to the third couplet. Again, we invoke the 6-syllable mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, and now we practice universal love. May all beings benefit. And that might sound vague and that might sound general, but folks, arguably one of the most successful hypnotherapists, Dr. Milton Erickson, is all about vagaries, generalities, and pronouns. And through their cunning use, he helped many people and reshaped the field of clinical hypnotherapy. So let's imagine a target, a bullseye target, an archery target. In the center of a dot, that's me, my needs of me, my body, my emotions, my job, my friends, my neighbors, my relatives, me, I. That's okay, that's where we're starting. The next circle, that would be our neighborhood. The next circle, that would be our world. The next ring, that would be the universe. And so doing and playing with the various Buddhists' mental yogas, or yogas of the heart, we help cultivate the habit of that intention that longs to have needs met that are beyond ourselves. And that's what we're playing with right now. Om Mani Padme Hum, may all beings benefit. Well, folks, we've done renunciation and we've done love, so now let's do the wisdom of letting go. This brings us to the fourth couplet. So here we go so now we go with the invocation, Om Mani Padme Hum, and now the intention, completely letting go. And we're very clever. Before we started this fourth couplet, we took a great deep breath, so that when we get to the part where we recite, completely letting go, we actually have some breath to let go of. Folks, I got to tell you, the quality of our in-breath directly affects the quality of our ability to let go during the out-breath. And it may seem, superficial or like greasy kid stuff, that we're relaxing our body in an effort to get us to let go intellectually and emotionally. But the two directly related. You could say it's part of our factory installed programming that on the in-breath we concentrate, on the out-breath we let go. On the in-breath we tighten up, on the out-breath we relax. By utilizing that natural tendency, we can accelerate our journey on the path to enlightenment, or at the very least, our journey on the path to being the happy camper that our dog already thinks we are. So there you have it, the black cookie on the Oreo. We've set our intention verbally. Now we're going to reinforce our intention with a semi-verbal practice. On the in-breath, we're going to take it back. On the in-breath, we're going to silently, mentally recite each of these 4 intentions. And on the out-breath, we're going to whisper, not the 6, but the 12-syllable mantra. We're going to try to do it 7 times. I often send my students an image very similar to this. Let me see if it shows up on the camera. There you go. It's got 3 Buddhas. Their significance we'll explore we've already explored in a different video or perhaps a future video. But pragmatically, we look at one image and recite the mantra 2 times. We look at the second image, recite the mantra 2 times. Look at the third image, recite the mantra 2 times. Close the eyes, recite the mantra 1 time, and 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7. That's how you count to 7 on one breath while whispering mantras. The mantra I'm going to use sometimes it's called the 12-syllable mantra. Sometimes it's called the Vajra Guru mantra. It was introduced to me by the members of the Nyingma sect of Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. It was also embraced by Karma Jigme Rinpoche, who was one of the first pioneers of the Jigme Manipa Tantrika sentimentality, which says, let's be devoted to one Buddha, the Buddha of compassion, and let's be non-sectarian. So he practiced the teachings of both the Kagyu sect and the Nyingma sect. So I promise you, crazy old Lama Jigme is not the first monk to strive to be non-sectarian. Anyway, good old Karma Jigme said, listen, you got one Buddha to focus on, and you got one teacher to focus on. The mantra for that Buddha is Om Mani Padme Hum. The mantra for that teacher should be Om Ah Hum Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hum. That's all over the internet. There are plenty of wonderful discussions about it, and I'll explain it to you further in a future lesson. Right now, that's all you got to know, so write that down. Om Ah Hum Vajra Guru Padma Siddhi Hum. And it should be in the materials below the video. Yes, right, look for the show, look for the, play with the buttons below the video, and you'll find the mantra there. Don't worry, folks, it's an open mantra. It does not require any tantric empowerment, which, of course, reminds me of a riddle. How many Buddhist tantrikas does it take to change a light bulb? The answer is just 1, but he's got to have the proper empowerment. A lot of scrupulous teachers will try to prey upon their students' fear and superstition, to say you can't do the practice you need without the right empowerment, and you can't receive the right empowerment without the right fee. Folks, donations are incredible, especially in the Tantra tradition. That's how monks eat and clothe themselves and house themselves. We rely upon donations. But I'm not a big fan of using fear and manipulation to get those donations. So let's move forward. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to play with our mala. Now mala is Sanskrit for bead. Some people translate it as rosary. A typical Hindu rosary has 108 beads. Often in the Tantra tradition, we add 3 more beads to that to make it 111. There's one separate spacer, a second spacer, and a third spacer the size of a great big guru bead that's common to the Sutric tradition, or also the Hindu tradition. So we have 27 smaller beads separated by spacer, another 27, a spacer, another 27, a spacer, another 27, the Garupi, 108. So we're going to do something I like to call four-finger Jimmy. Now that sounds dirty, but it's not. So we're going to count the first set of 127 beads, first set of 27 beads plus the spacer for 28 by using just the pinky. So we're going to set the mala over the pinky and treat the pinky like a pulley. We're not going to push, we're going to actually pull with our thumb, thusly. So if this feels like I'm asking you to chew bubblegum while walking a straight line, it's because I am. This is kind of challenging, but it's profoundly effective. For by counting our mala on our pinky, we are awakening the energies of our root chakra. Now, they might, in the Tibetan Tantra tradition, we refer to that as the sex root wheel. Some of us teach that in a woman, that's the G-spot, and on a man, that's the prostate. So let's play with that right now. On the in-breath, we are going to silently recite the question, what could I feel grateful about? On the out-breath, we're going to whisper the Vajra Guru mantra 7 times. After we do that, we hold our breath for the length of 1 or 2 sets of heartbeats. Boom, 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 boom. And then we continue. On the next in-breath, we're going to play with the intention. May Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. And now, on the in-breath, we're going to silently, mentally recite, may all beings benefit. And now, on the in-breath, we're going to silently and mentally recite, completely letting go. And there you have it, our first quarter mala. Now we're going to switch hands from our pinky to our ring finger. We're going to use our ring finger as a pulley. By doing this, that helps bring the energy up to our navel region, to our abdomen. Very powerful, very centering. So now we do the 4 couplets again. On the in-breath, let's mentally, silently ask, what could I feel grateful about? Deep breath. And now our intention. May, on the in-breath, silently and mentally recite, may Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. During the next in-breath, silently and mentally recite, may all beings benefit. On the next in-breath, silently and mentally recite, completely letting go. Uma hum very good mum zeri 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 uma hum very good mum zeri. Now we're going to switch fingers to our middle finger. That's right, folks, the finger that you often use on the freeway to express yourself. We're going to use that middle finger as a pulley. This helps bring the energy up to our heart chakra. On the in-breath, we're going to switch gears. And instead of asking, what could I feel grateful about, we're going to take the gratitude that we've already generated and aim it to our teacher. Whether you consider that teacher to be me, or someone else, or an imagined individual, or a deity of some sort, maybe just your parents, whoever, maybe just the idea. But let's face it, all of us are dependent upon our teachers. Whether there's a teacher who teaches us how to read and write, a teacher who teaches us how to use the bathroom and, mommy and daddy, and tie our shoes, we are all dependent upon our teachers. So let's play with that right now. Thank you, my kind teacher. The gratitude towards the teacher is integral to both the Dzogchen and the Mahamudra tantric practices, and helps to awaken the heart bliss. Thank you, my kind teacher, silently recite on the in-breath. And now the intention on the in-breath, may Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. Now, whenever you are dealing with people who are enthusiastic about anything, you're going to deal with the majority of fundamentalists and the minority of liberals. The same is true with Buddhism, especially Tantric Buddhism. Why, a cranky fundamentalist could say, how dare you use Buddha's Dharma for something as trivial as fertility? How dare you use the Vajraguru for something as paltry as women's fertility? But folks, I'm telling you, to use the Vajraguru mantra to increase our gratitude, devotion, renunciation, love, and wisdom is exactly part of Buddha's path, and is more powerful to practice about something you're passionate about than about a mere theoretical construct. If you're passionate about the needs of your neighbor, and bring that into your into your practice, and use that passion, use that sentimental attachment to complete the path to enlightenment. Isn't it deliciously ironic that we can use attachment to actually accomplish the path that frees us from the tyranny of attachment? I'd like to think so. Let's continue. Deep in breath, may all beings benefit. You may notice that as we progress on the four-finger Jigme from pinky to ring to middle, our voice is getting higher and higher. That's completely natural. Let's continue. On the in-breath, silently and mentally recite, completely letting go. That gets us to the 3/4 through a mala. We are now going to count the remainder of our mala on our index finger. And we're going to treat that index finger as a pulley. We'll This helps bring the energy to the top of our head and also helps us to let go, which is very important. On the in-breath, we practice devotion. Thank you, my kind teacher. Om Ahum Variguru Mam Sari 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 Om. On the in-breath, may Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. Om Ahum Variguru Mam Sari 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 Om. And now lastly, on the in-breath, the deep in-breath, completely letting go. Om Ahum Variguru Mam Sari 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 Om. Whoops, I skipped one. My mistake. That was may all beings benefit. Om Ahum Variguru Mam Sari 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 Om. And you'll notice, yes, even a seasoned contemplative will make boo-boos. When we make a boo-boo, you don't want to lie about it. We don't want to minimize, justify, rationalize, or fatalize it. Just become aware of it and move on. We want to roll with the punches. Perfectionism is a trap. To expect to do everything perfect all the time will set us up for needless suffering, neurosis, and sorrow. So when we make a boo-boo, find the humor in it and move on. Well, folks, we've done the dark cookie of the Oreo. We've done the creamy center of the Oreo. Now we're going to conclude with another dark cookie of the Oreo, and that is the verbal practice of the 4 couplets using the 6-syllable mantra. Let's play with that right now. Repeat after me. Om Mani Padme Hum. That's also found below the video. Thank you, my kind teacher. Om Mani Padme Hum. May Angela conceive, carry, and deliver a happy, healthy infant in the most wonderful way. Now, of course, my inner wise us wants to say, well, of course, as an infant, she's not going to deliver a puppy, but such is life. Okay, and now, deep breath. Om Mani Padme Hum. May all beings benefit. And lastly, Om Mani Padme Hum, completely letting go. Friends, you've learned a lot. You've learned about the 4 couplets of manifesting. You've learned about how to specifically manifest fertility for a friend, relative, neighbor, or stranger. You've learned about the tantric advantage of both gratitude and devotion. You've learned about the 3 principal aspects of the path: renunciation, compassion, and wisdom. You've learned about the 6-syllable mantra and the 12-syllable mantra. You've learned a lot. I thank you for your time and your kind attention. If you have any questions or comments, or just want to send me a cyber hug, leave them on my one of my Facebook pages using the link below the video. You are welcome to attend my next series of Sunday evening classes if you live in the greater Los Angeles area. Otherwise, you can contact me through my website or through Facebook, and we can set up a Skype class for personal or group instruction. Have a beautiful day. Om Mani Padme.